It's official, Melissa has become a Category 5 hurricane and is on track to be the worst hurricane that Jamaica has ever seen, with landfall coming later tonight or early tomorrow morning. I'm meteorologist Andrew Markowitz with the latest on Hurricane Melissa as of Monday, October 27, 2025. In about 40 hours, Melissa rapidly intensified from tropical storm to Category 5 monster, one of the fastest storms to ever do it. Melissa is the third Category 5 hurricane of the season and the strongest. The other interesting development is that Melissa is still tracking to the west, as she has yet to make that turn. As a result, the projected landfall location has now shifted toward western Jamaica, where it is anticipated to occur as a Category 5. Landfall will most likely happen early on Tuesday, October 28th. In the grand scheme of things, this shift in the landfall location doesn't really matter a ton, because regardless of where it goes, it is going to be a devastating storm. But it does matter for individual communities near the center, because it determines who's on that dirty side of the storm. The worst impacts are felt there, which is near the center and just east. That is bad news for western parishes, but on the other hand, it does mean a direct hit on Kingston or Portmore is becoming less or less likely. However, it is still going to be a significant to major storm regardless. This would be the first Category 5 landfall in the Atlantic Basin since Dorian in September 2019, and before that you had Maria, Irma, and Michael. In Jamaica, that is completely unprecedented. The strongest storm prior to Melissa to make landfall was Gilbert in 1988, which was a Category 3. Subsequent hurricane landfalls are expected in eastern Cuba as a Category 3 late on Tuesday, and then in the southeastern Bahamas on Wednesday as a Category 2. After that, there is potential for hurricane impacts late this week in Bermuda, depending on the track of the storm, so we will have to watch that very closely. A hurricane warning remains in effect for all of Jamaica, as well as much of eastern Cuba. A hurricane watch is in effect for the pink areas of central and southeastern Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos. A tropical storm warning is in effect for all of Haiti, as well as the Cuban province of Las Tunas. 1 to 2 feet of rain is expected to fall in eastern Cuba, while most of Jamaica will see anywhere from 20 to 30 inches, but some areas could see much more, perhaps as much as 40. This is catastrophic, life-threatening flooding, akin to a storm like Hurricane Helene. Hurricane-force wind gusts in excess of 100 miles per hour are likely near the center of the storm. Additionally, we will see life-threatening storm surge as high as 13 feet on the southern coast of Jamaica, near and just east of the landfall location. For reference, that would be enough to completely submerge a one-story building. At this point, there really is no doubt that we are in line for a devastating storm, perhaps rivaling some of the all-time worst. Based on the data and what I'm seeing, this one reminds me a lot of Hurricane Maria, which was a catastrophic storm in Puerto Rico that I'm sure many of you remember. As I've been saying for the past several days, there are three main reasons why Melissa is different and worse than all these other big storms that have impacted Jamaica. Number one is the intensity. As we talked about, it will be the strongest storm to make landfall on Jamaican history. Number two is the forward speed, the fact that it's moving so slowly and therefore it would be a longer duration event. And number three is the angle of approach, which is much more impactful for things like storm surge. It is true that infrastructure in parts of Jamaica are well equipped to handle strong hurricanes, but that's not true everywhere. Certainly not true in impoverished area and some of the most vulnerable locations. I, as a meteorologist, am very much dreading the images that we are about to see, not only in Jamaica, but in Cuba, in Haiti, and the Bahamas. This is the type of storm that's going to take months, if not years, to recover from. It is going to be a very long-term process.